everybody. Welcome. Look, I've spilt my food down. I know I'm not in my bikini. I'm in my pajamas, so I apologise. I've just spilt my breakfast down. Um, I probably will do a video later about Harry's book and everything that we've learnt. But I've heard some very interesting uh, things from a lot of commentators. First of all, he's getting absolutely hammered in the UK, rightly so, because people there love his grandmother, and so they see it as an attack on her. Second of all, people, what he doesn't remember about his stepmother is the oppress and all the horrible names that she was called for many, many years. Yes, it is true that, Diana referred to her as a third wheel, or there were three in the marriage. And it is probably true that Charles married Diana, that he didn't really love her, but it was for the heir. That could be all true. But one thing that is really true is that his father loves his stepmother and their marriage. I mean, the press hounded her for years and years and years and years and years about being the other woman and breaking up the marriage and being responsible for this for many, many years. It's only been, she's had to work very hard of getting the trust of the people and being accepted. I would not necessarily say it has anything to do with media leaks, but the fact that she worked hard. She worked hard. She's a hard worker. And a lot of the times behind the scenes. So she's earned the right to be there. Now, there are reports out that she's absolutely astounded and devastated by everything that Harry has said about her, as I guess you would be. There are reports that his father's very, very upset, the king. The other interesting thing is, particularly on the Britain talk shows, is that they're having a lot of military people on there and talking about the fact that Harry talked about how many people he killed in Afghanistan, and that he's now got a target on his head. He's lost respect of a lot of his military colleagues, people that he fought with that. And another very interesting thing that was pointed out was he's talking about privacy, and it was pointed out that there's been more photos of his children in the US than there is in the UK. Now, let me just tell you that in the UK, there are arrangements or agreements between the press and the royal family. There are no photos taken of the children. There's no drones that fly over any of the palaces. Do you notice that we've never had any photos from the backyards of the palaces, of the kids playing, of them walking around the grounds? The only photos that are allowed by the press are the ones where they're invited to and they're staged inside the palaces. Why do you think you only ever see footage of people arriving or leaving the palace? Because the media is not there. The other thing is that the media are only allowed to take photos of the children on their first day of school. So that's why you see the first day of school photos, and you see the family, usually, Kate and William, they all pose for the first day film. That's an agreement. If you notice, since Harry and Meghan have been in the US, they've had drones flying over their house taking photos. There's been photos of Archie at kindergarten. There's been, and I'm not criticising the US press, but I'm just stating that it's been since Diana's death that the royal family and the UK press came to this agreement about privacy and respect, particularly of the children. So, it's very, if you know the background of how things work, and this is why I think the people in the UK and the Commonwealth are really, really scathing of all the leaks and everything that's come out, because we know how it works. We know how it works. And look, there are things coming out to say that the US are getting very tired of it. But I'll be very surprised if we hear anything. I don't think we'll hear anything from the King. I don't think we'll hear anything from the Prince and Princess of Wales. Although it is Kate's birthday, Princess of Wales' birthday today. So happy birthday, Princess Kate. Hope you have a great day. And the King and the Queen Consort have actually wished her a happy birthday, which I think is really quite telling. And I think the thing that people have really don't stomach very well about all of this is that the Netflix interview was done around the time of his grandfather's death. And this book was at the publishers when his grandmother died. And I heard one royal journalist, so they have these people that work closely, journalists that work closely with the royal family. And I heard her say that she's just glad that Her Majesty wasn't alive to be here for this, because it would just have broken her heart even more than it had been broken. And I know a lot of people think that Prince Harry is whinging and whining. And this royal correspondent did point out, she said, when he was talking about having the smallest house in Clarence House, a smallest room in Clarence House, she said, I was one of 4. I had the smallest room, and as my siblings moved out, I got a bigger room each time. And she said, that was part of being the youngest. And she was saying that she thinks Harry wants an apology for being born second, or the spare. But it's just interesting. And remember, as William has had children, he's gone down the line. So when George is old enough and gets married, and if he has children, his children go above Harry. George's child, if he has any children, becomes next in line to the throne. So everyone gets pushed down and has to find their way. Redoing it. Anyway, they're just some thoughts based on what I mean. I'm not looking at reading it. I'm actually really interested. But look, I think it's time, Harry, to just zip the lip. You've aired all the dirty laundry for the family. If anything, what I've heard is that the royal family is just like a normal family. We all fight. We'll bicker. We'll get jealous of each other. We all want what the other siblings got that we didn't get. We all feel hard done by, but at the end of the day, we move on. I think it's time to move on and enjoy that family of yours. Anyway, my 2 Bobsworth. Bye for now.